My lords, ladies and gentlemen, I found myself some little time ago singing a hymn by Lawrence Houseman on the theme of the limitations of human aspiration and human achievement. It seems to me fortuitous because it contains the line, building towers that never reach to heaven. I don't think any of us concerned with this tower had any aspirations to reach heavenly heights, not even Colonel Seaford himself. But we have known, ever since it began, that we were constructing the highest building in the United Kingdom. What we did not know was that its completion would be graced by the presence of Your Majesty, and ma'am, we could have no finer climax to our undertaking than this. We are immensely grateful to you, ma'am, for your great kindness. Now, the worthy development of this important site of the City of London obviously presented a considerable challenge, but the confidence that we've felt in Colonel Seaford's design has, I believe, been fully justified in the completion, with the soaring vertical lines of the tower and its special shape giving a slim elegance to what is in fact a massive building. The fact that it rises 600 feet above ground level, I think, is there for all to see. But it may not be known that it penetrates nearly a third of that distance below ground level, 170 feet. And the problem of finding...
The problem, basically, was one of space. These buildings, headquarters of the old National Provincial Bank, no longer suited the needs of a modern bank. The offices of the new National Westminster's growing international division were scattered all over the city. Giving space to them all under one roof, as the bank wanted on their 2.5-acre site, meant only one thing: build high. In 1970, the old bank's headquarters started to come down. To clear the rubbish from demolition and foundation digging, up to 300 lorries a day were kept on the move through the city's narrow streets. Next, nearly 400 concrete foundation piles were driven 80 feet down into the London clay. On top of the piles, a concrete raft 10 feet thick and circular in shape was set to spread the load of the coming tower. By 1975, a steel jungle had risen from the raft to strengthen the concrete tube forming the trunk of the building. From the concrete trunk, concrete cantilevers stretch out like branches to carry the 42 glass and steel-walled office floors. As a piece of engineering, it is unique. The highest cantilevered building in the world. By 1977, the tower reached full height, 600 feet above the street, dwarfing the real trees growing at its base. By 1980, it was almost finished. A building for 2,500 people. A mini township in the sky.
Now that we're in occupation, we're beginning to see the great advantage of owning the largest office building in the City of London. The staff of our growing international business sector have been able to move in from different locations all over the city and are now at last very largely under one roof, if that's what you can call the top of this building. Everybody in it, concerned in it, I believe, is proud of it as an example of British design and British workmanship. And it's with that sensation of pride, ma'am, that we submitted to you this morning with our renewed expression of gratitude for your presence here and of your interest in it. And I now humbly request you, ma'am, formally to declare the National Westminster Tower open.
I am very glad to be here today at the National Westminster Bank. I have been among those who have been watching with fascination and sometimes, I admit, disbelief as this tower grew before our eyes, and have also joined the speculation about how that lofty crane was to be brought down. I shall be very interested now to see the inside. The growth and success of your international operations command worldwide respect, and this reputation can only be enhanced now that they are accommodated in such a fine headquarters. The staff, whose contribution is as valuable to this country's invisible exports as it is to your customers, deserve and have now been given the best. I am confident that they will continue to flourish here. I welcome, moreover, this opportunity of congratulating all concerned with the tower's completion, both in design and construction. It is splendid that what seemed, to the observer at least, a most hazardous operation should have been achieved with a minimum of accidents. The new and complicated problems which had to be overcome